Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Connor Williams and you are watching Wrestle Wrap once again. I come to you now just from Clash of Champions. That's right, we'll be breaking down last night's pay-per-view in all of its glory right now. So starting off the card, we have Sami Zayn defeating Styles and Jeff Hardy. It was a really good match. It starts with I'll go through some of the main bits because it was a very spot heavy match, as you'd expect with a ladder match with those three participants. Hardy jumps through the ladder, going to get AJ as the ladder's split like that, catches all of his insides on the bit that brings the ladders, pulls them together, the joint. It looks really nasty. Zayn sells really well throughout this match, really impressed. Jeff still looks really good as well. There's one bit where he does Whisper of Wind off the steps into Styles before Zayn Haluva kicks him. Fantastic. Jeff Hardy looks like he hasn't missed a beat in those type of matches. I watch him sometimes and as sad as it is, you can tell he's getting old, but he was really on form tonight. There was a nasty bump as well where Hardy holds onto the ladder, it gets lobbed out the ring and he doesn't let go till he's at the floor. Really nasty. Also, Hardy Swanton bombs Zayn through the ladder, a bit like the old throwback to when he did it to Bubba Ray in the TLC match. So that was really good. Then Zayn gets the handcuffs and he handcuffs. We've seen Randy Orton pull Jeff's earlobe because he has stretchers, but Zayn actually handcuffs it and handcuffs Jeff to a ladder. So Jeff has to carry the ladders like this to his face. He also handcuffs himself to Styles for quite a lot of it. Him and Styles are on top of the ladder, and then Zayn actually unhooks his cuff, locks AJ to the ladder so AJ can't climb any higher, and goes and grabs the titles for his win. The announcers were saying how it was clever that Sami Zayn did this. It was clever. I think it's pretty obvious that he always had, he was going to have the keys for handcuffs. He has, but it was clever by Zayn. I'm really glad he won. I wouldn't want him to derail his momentum. It was a really good match. Hardy looked really good. Styles performed well. It was quite spot heavy, but is that ever a bad thing? If the spots did well, I don't think it's a bad thing. I enjoyed it. So yeah, this match was good. I'd give it probably about a 7, 8 out of 10. Yeah. Next we move on to Asuka, who beat Zelina Vega. This was really good. Zelina worked really well. I've been saying in the past few videos, is she ring rusty? She was alright actually. Asuka's really good anyway, so she was always getting carried. Asuka sells her arm injury. Zelina Vega wraps her up in the ropes. Zelina Vega does really well, tries a cross arm breaker. Asuka does get the win though, as she's got Asuka locked in. There's a pin. Then it breaks back up and then she hooks Zelina Vega in it again for the win. She offers her hand afterwards, says Zelina Vega fought well. Zelina Vega was like, no. She bows to her and then Zelina Vega boots her in the head while she's bowing. And then Asuka goes absolutely nuts. Yeah, this match was over pretty quickly. I'd give this about 4. 4 out of 10. Yeah, 4 out of 10. It was just about alright. They didn't get very long to showcase, I don't think. Asuka's really good, but I thought the match was over pretty early, but we may find out why later on. Stay tuned. Next we have Lashley, who defeats Apollo Crews. MVP was great during this, always asking Crews, are you hurt? Do you know what the hurt business is now? Are you hurt? Can you feel it? Of course you can feel it. MVP is so good on the mic, well not even on the mic, just so good as a mouthpiece, fantastic. Crews does get some offense in it. He lifts Bobby Lashley up, drops him, does the backflip. Crews is incredible. He's absolutely incredible, his athleticism, but the power behind the man. Lashley wins with the master lock that he's been doing. I thought this match was very good. It was over quite quickly. You never thought that Crews was going to win. It got a bit of offense, but you always knew Lashley was going to win. I'd probably give this a 4 as well, 4 or 5. Yeah, I'd say it was mediocre at best. It was all right. It wouldn't go out of place on Raw, I thought. But yeah, really good match. Next we have the Street Profits, who defeat Andrade and Angel Garza. This was really good. Angel Garza and Andrade worked really well, fast maintaining, kept Angelo Dawkins to one side of the ring. Not Dawkins, sorry, Montez Ford to one side of the ring. Really worked well on him. Dawkins gets a hot tag and gets the win. He does his spine buster. The ref counts 3, but Cole says it's a kick out, and then it shows that actually Garza had kicked out. Don't know why the refs counted it, apart from later on we see Garza down at ringside. Maybe that's why. Maybe he said, I'm injured, you're going to have to call the match here, and that's why the ending ended like that. I don't think that was the intentional ending. I genuinely do think it's not a storyline. I think he was genuinely hurt and they've had to rush to the finish. It'd be a shame if Garza's injured. He's really good. Really talented performer. He's got a lot of momentum behind him now. Andrade and him were working well together. I was really impressed with both of them, but it's one of them, isn't it? I feel really sorry for them. I'd probably give the match 5 out of 10 again. It was over quite quickly. It wasn't their fault, but yeah. Next we have R-Truth, who defeats Gulak for the 24/7 title backstage. This isn't even a match. Don't know why I've concluded this. He took the title off R-Truth in the pre-show, and R-Truth took it back. If you want a match rating, 1, 2, yeah. Next we have Bayley with an open challenge. She says she's being very generous. No one comes out for a bit. She goes, ref, come out here, lift my hand then. Then Asuka comes out. The match is good. Asuka dominates, and then Bayley hits her with a chair. And then Bayley goes to hit her with a chair even more before Sasha Banks makes the save. That's right, the boss is back. She is back, and she beats down Bayley. Then when she gets in the ring, she stumbles. Bayley gets gets a chair, misses. Sasha picks up a kendo stick, absolutely lays into Bayley, gets her with a chair, goes to put Bayley's neck in the chair like Bayley did with her. Bayley slides out and escapes, and that's how that match ended. Well, the match itself, 3-4, again, over very quickly. Sasha coming back though, really, really good, solid 6-7. That's obviously the next rivalry for Bayley when Sasha's next better. I think it's really, really good. Now on to this match where I actually wrote quite a lot of notes for this one. This was again spot heavy. This was weird as well. I'll let you know my thoughts afterwards. But it's Drew McIntyre defeating Randy Orton. Drew sells his jaw really well. Orton goes for a punt dead early on. Someone grabs his leg. He pulls down his mask. See, Big Show wears his mask. So why aren't you? Big Show pulls down the mask. It's the Big Show, pulls him out, chokeslams Orton through the table. Holy cow, it's the Big Show. And then Drew McIntyre takes advantage, tries to pull Orton to the hospital, to the ambulance, pulls out a red chair from the ambulance, starts hitting Orton with it. Then Orton gets a bit of retaliation, starts doing that thing he does with the chair on Drew's jaw. Look, really, really painful. Then both men get into the ambulance. You obviously can't have a winner because you'll be locked inside, so it doesn't count. Orton targets the jaw again. Drew goes for a claymore on the door while Orton's standing there. Orton moves. Drew goes straight through the door, takes the door off its hinges. Looks really, really brutal. They end up fighting backstage. Then all of a sudden, Christian's back. One more match. He attacks Randy Orton. There's obviously not a lot Christian can do, obviously, because he's not clear to compete. So this is about as far as you were going to get him to do. I don't think he's ever going to do the unprettier or anything. But yeah, then they both climb inside the ambulance. Again, on top of it, Orton thumbs Drew in the eye, drops him, back body drops him on the thingy. You can see a glass in Drew's back. Looks really, really painful, to be fair. Then they get on top of the ambulance. Drew's hanging there. Randy kicks his things off. Drew falls. And then Shawn Michaels comes from out of nowhere, super kicks him, and then pushes Orton straight off the ambulance. Very brutal landing for Orton, to which Drew McIntyre goes to stick him in again. And once again, Orton comes back with an RKO. Then he goes to shut the door. Drew's there like no, with his fingers there. And then he hits the Claymore on Randy Orton, puts Randy Orton in the ambulance, but he's like obviously leaning out of it like this. Punk kicks him, then locks the door. Drew wins, and Ric Flair's driving the ambulance away. Don't know why, but yeah, this match was good. It was very it was not very spot. Well, it was very spot heavy, but it was very like, oh, Drew's taking advantage. Now he's in trouble. Here comes a legend. Now Drew surely has to win. Oh wait, no, Randy's turning it around. Oh wait, no, there's a legend. Oh no, Drew surely has to win. Oh wait, no, Shawn Michaels just super kicked him. Well, Drew's got to win here, hasn't he? Surely. Then oh no, Randy Orton's hit with an RKO. Oh, but then Drew hits with that, and you're like, with a punt, you were like, right, it's got to be over now. But I thought it was all right. Yeah, I give this a 7. I give it a 7, and don't get me wrong, I like seeing the legends come back, and it is good to Randy get his comeuppance, but I don't know, it just felt a bit like the rhythm of the match was a bit interrupted with the whole, oh my gosh, Randy's in control. Now he's not, because the legends intervened. Now Drew's surely, like, I don't know how Drew McIntyre didn't put Randy Orton in the ambulance after HBK kicked him off it. Like, Randy Orton's got superpowers then, I see. He must be like the theme where he just resurrects. But yeah, 7 out of 10 I think's fair. Yeah, gotta be fair. 7. Also, Hell in a Cell's the next pay-per-view, advertised. It looks really, really, well, I was going to say it looks good. It was a vintage of previous matches. But yeah, Hell in a Cell's always a good one to look forward to. Again, a spot-heavy one. I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to fall off the cell this year though. Is Shane doesn't want to wrestle, and no one's daft enough to do that. I don't think, other than Shane McMahon. So, but yeah, Hell in a Cell looks good. Looks to be good one to be forward to. I think maybe Roman Reigns and the Usos. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Depends how the next match goes. And the next and final match of the evening is Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. It was pretty good. Jey's wearing a Lee. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm really sorry if it's not. I think it's called a Lee or a lay. A lay. I think it's called a lay. Reigns has no top on. Looks really ripped. In the best physical shape I've seen him in a long time, which you could argue when I've ever seen him without a top on. He always wears a vest. But like he's ripped. He's ripped, alright? I don't know why they were hiding it behind a vest all this time. And you can see why he said he didn't want to wrestle in one. It was a good build-up. They try and do it respectfully, you know. The lock-up and everything. There's one point where Reigns goes to spear, Jey does that leapfrog over and then starts dancing on his toes, makes Roman flip out. Roman has lost it at that point at the disrespect being shown. This was a turning point in the match really, because then Reigns just dominates and he trash talks him all the time, like, what's up, Us? You can't handle it, you're rubbish. Jey then hits a Samoan drop out of nowhere, return to a Superman punch. Reigns says you should just stay down, take your beating, take your payday. Jey gets second win, looks really, really good, goes for the splash. He does a dive outside onto Reigns. You start to, not worry, but you start to really think for him. Reigns moves out the way of the splash, then he gets it with a super kick. And then Jey does hit a splash and it gets a 2-4. But as Reigns kicks out, he punches him between the legs, which they're all like, ooh. And then he hits the Superman punch. And then he then spears Jey Uso, and from then on, you knew it was the beginning of the end, really. You'd think it was the end of the match, but it wasn't. You had Reigns spear him, you had him demand to be called Chief, and then this is where the match really, really took a turn. Jey says no, Heyman starts going, you're my Chief, and he's like, I don't need to hear it from you, Paul, I need him to say it. And then Reigns just brutally ground and pounds him, like, whack. There was one point where it looked vicious. It was when Jey had his head turned down and it was just constant. It brings out Jimmy Uso, who says, because Jey's saying no, and he really starts to go to town on him. It looked really brutal. And I read somewhere before, apparently this wasn't Vince's idea because he doesn't like the whole ground and pound like that, which is weird because Lesnar did it to Orton. But apparently it's Paul Heyman who likes it, and it does work. It looked horrible. Jimmy comes out, he's going to throw the towel in. Jey's like, no, Uso, no, please don't, blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing you know, Reigns again just unloads on him, and Heyman's like, throwing the goddamn towel, somebody stop this. So Jimmy throws in the towel. He says to Reigns, what's wrong with you, what you doing? And he's like, call me the Chief. And he's like, yeah, you're the Chief, what the hell's wrong with you? This was, I'm going to give this an 8 or a 9. This was the best match on the card by a country mile. The whole storyline's been good, but this was an incredible match. Like, Reigns, when he's pounding him, you really start to feel it, and that's what wrestling's all about, when you feel it. And it was incredible. Reigns is really, really good in this heel role. Jey's a great babyface. Like, you talk Kofi Mania last year, a hard-working wrestler getting what he deserved. This is similar. Jey Uso, you got the feeling you're like, you deserve this or something better than a tag team wrestler. Obviously it's a bit hard because he's got his twin brother, but they split up the Hardys. I think Jey could really go for a singles competition. He's really, really good. Do I think he'll take the title off Reigns? Unfortunately not. I think this is all building for The Rock. I think you'll have the Usos versus him, then you'll have Rikishi versus Reigns, and you'll have Rikishi come out probably. Reigns will probably hit him. And then you'll have him saying he's a tribal chief, and it's only a matter of time before, when he goes on about the head of the dynasty, before The Rock comes out and corrects him. Because Reigns is good, but we all know The Rock is the biggest star in that family. Like, no disrespect to his dad or the Wild Samoans, The Rock is the biggest star name. And it's only a matter of time. If this doesn't lead to The Rock versus Reigns at Mania, I'll be extremely disappointed. But yeah, and as for the pay-per-view itself, I thought it was really, really good. There were some near matches. I'd love to give high ratings for the matches. I think it did the job though. I think the last match really stuck in my head, which is why I'm saying it's really, really good. I'd give overall about a 7. Yeah, about a 7 for the pay-per-view. I did enjoy it though. It's like, don't let 7 think, oh, was it? It wasn't like, it was good. I enjoyed it. It could have been better. The matches could have been longer. I think if Nikki Cross was fit, it'd have been a bit better. Obviously, Shayna and Nia didn't fight with Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott. There's a couple. That's why Asuka wasn't on the pre-show. But yeah, I thought it was good. It was really, really good, guys. And I'm excited to watch Raw Fallout tonight. And I'm excited to watch SmackDown's Fallout. We also got told that there's going to be a draft in October, 2-day draft. That'll be interesting. So you get switched and swapped around. I think I don't know. It'll be interesting because I don't know if they need switching desperately. Some bits do, but like the top bit on SmackDown, you've got sorted for a while. You've got the top bit on Raw that, yeah, it's sorted for a while. Maybe there's a couple of mid-carders that need to switch to freshen it up. Maybe a couple of like main eventers. But yeah, so we'll have to wait and see what the draft thinks. But it's really, really positive, this from WWE. I thought this was really good. No retribution at all last night. Thought that was really interesting. Thought they'd make an appearance at least once. Thought they'd interfere in the Hurt business, but no. So yeah, guys, this is me, and I will see you for Monday Night Raw. Peace.